Sixers lose 104-99. I was surprised they were even in the game. I thought they played a really good second half until the end. I thought Tyrese Maxey's decision-making was terrible down the stretch. I thought he could have trusted his teammates, but he wanted to play hero ball, and he wasn't making shots, and it resulted in the Magic finishing the job. One of the big storylines is Paul George had one of his best games. Well, in the first half, he was kind of invisible to me, but that second half, he was really good. He had 25 points, 6 assists, 10 rebounds, plus 11 on the night. The problem is he didn't finish the game because he fouled out, and like the last 8 games or so, he's averaging 3.9 fouls per game. He's getting a suspect whistle defensively, but at the same time, he's just reaching at times he shouldn't be reaching. He's just committing silly fouls. He should have just had 4 fouls because there's at least 2 fouls per game where he gets mad, he throws up a bad shot, wants a foul, and then he immediately fouls. Or something silly where he's trying to reach when he shouldn't really be reaching. It's just silly fouls, and then once you commit legit fouls, they add up, you're out of the game. So Paul George played a great second half. He was unbelievable, clutch shots, and if he stays in the game, you can make an argument they probably end up finishing the job. But at the end of the day, Orlando just has too much athleticism compared to the Sixers roster. Jonathan Isaac, 20 points, 11 rebounds. The Orlando Magic have 41 rebounds. The Philadelphia 76ers have 29 rebounds. Overall, the Sixers are just too small, unathletic. You got Eric Gordon trotting around for like nearly 30 minutes tonight, and he was making his shots, but defensively, he's getting beat on backdoor cuts. He's not helping at all on defensive glass. It's just a huge liability out there. And then, of course, you got Gershon at the center position. He played a great second half, but he's just too small. He's not going to be able to grab offensive rebounds or defensive rebounds, I mean. He even got beat on free throw rebounds. They're just so unequipped to guard size and length right now. And just go look at Jonathan Isaac's game logs and you see it. It turns out Jonathan Isaac has 3 games this year with 12 or more points, and 2 of the 3 games have come against the Philadelphia 76ers. But once again, this was a game where the Sixers showed how bad their roster is, how bad they are as a team right now. I mean, the offense was just pitiful. They couldn't score over 100 points. Yes, I understand the Magic are a very good defensive team, but at the same time, the Magic turned the ball over 16 times. The Sixers also turned it over 16 times, but the Sixers also had a good shooting game. They shot 41% from 3, so they were creating turnovers, shooting good from 3, and you still can't get over 100 points. It felt like the Magic were like, take it from us, take this game. We really don't want to win because half of our team is injured. Yes, the Sixers team is injured as well, but Paolo Banchero, he's not even fully healthy yet. He's on a minutes restriction. He only played 27 minutes. He had 6 turnovers. He was nowhere near his full self, and he still was dominant versus the Sixers when he was in there. Cole freaking Anthony has 27 points. I can take Paulo and Jonathan Isaac dominating the Sixers because of the size advantage, but you can't let Cole Anthony have 27 points. Not only that, but Cole Anthony came out the gates and he had like 12 points in the first 5 minutes of the game, and it was just lack of effort, just not being physical, just allowing him to get to his spots in the mid-range, easy floaters, easy layups off the backboard. It was just like, man, this Sixers team is very bad, and their process offensively is the worst. I mean, sometimes they go through stretches where they don't even pass the rock. And overall, I think Nick Nurse has had a horrible season, but at the same time, this roster is terrible, And then you're playing guys like Bona, you're playing guys Edwards, Jeff Dowden, Ricky Council. You can see they have no chemistry with each other. You can see them looking at each other and being like, oh, you were supposed to be there. I thought you were going to be there. Like, they have no organic chemistry because these guys were not meant to play big minutes. Like, let's just put everything into perspective. The Orlando Magic are missing half of their roster. And how much better was the individual talent out of their group? It's just a way better roster. Even a guy like Trevelyan Queen looked better than half the Sixers players. It's just like, what the heck was Daryl Morey cooking? 11 points off the bench once again for the Sixers. And then you go to the other side, the Magic have 48 points off the bench. And this is the risk you're willing to take when you're paying two big contracts to injury-prone players. Because when you're paying Paul George and now Tyrese Maxey as well, and then, of course, Joel Embiid, you're going to have to bank on minimum signings. You're going to have to bank on two-way players. And the Sixers obviously are struggling right now because their roster is not deep enough to withstand these injuries. Meanwhile, the Orlando Magic, everyone can get hurt. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if their ball boy got injured at this point. Everyone on the Orlando Magic is getting injured, and they still keep winning games. From all the way to the top to the bottom, everyone deserves blame. Daryl Morey, Nick Nurse, the players executing. Everyone deserves blame. And then the most annoying thing recently is the Sixers want to argue after every single call. Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is arguing at the end of the game when the Orlando Magic get an offensive rebound when nothing happened. Why is he arguing? That type of shit is loser energy, and it's just negative energy that the Sixers don't need right now. Okay, we understand you're getting a bad whistle. Who cares? It's been like the whole entire year you're getting a bad whistle. At some point, you got to just get over it and play through it because it's so annoying to see the Sixers constantly yap at the officials because, quite frankly, all NBA officials suck. The amount of complaining is out of control from the Sixers. Straight up, out of control. And I think that goes to show that they have just lost focus and they're not mentally in it. And they're just looking for excuses and somebody else to blame for their total failure this season. And I think the worst thing about this year right now is Tyrese Maxey's currently developing bad habits. He's looking at the officials after every single time he thinks he should get a foul call. He is not passing to his teammates in the clutch. He literally did not pass at all when he had open guys on the perimeter. Just trust your teammates. See what happens. They're probably going to miss, but it is what it is. It's a team sport. You're not going to win this thing 1-on-5. The Sixers are allowing Maxey to develop bad tendencies. And it's the same exact thing that they allowed Joel Embiid to do because they weren't competent enough to surround him with proper talent and develop a system where it's team-oriented. Right now, the Sixers are playing pickup hoops style basketball.